Cars coming to the grid then for our first Caterham race of the weekend. The Caterham Graduates Racing Club Sigma 135 category here at Donington Park at Convoy in the Park 2021. Ben Buckley in pole position, Simon Shaw alongside him. Second row, Michael Curley and John Cox. Row 3, James McCall and David Reed. They've been battling with each other for the whole of the season. Row 4, Angus McLean and Roger Gaunt, rounding out the top 10, Alaric Barney and Mika Lazarus. Identical Ford Sigma 135 horsepower engined cars running on Yokohama tyres. And this will be a 25-minute race around a slightly damp and slippery Donington Park after rain yesterday. Overcast conditions here today at Convoy in the Park. Last couple of cars moving into like the back of the grid. The marshals, once they're happy, will display the green flag. And then the red lights will come on. The green flag is waved from the back of the grid. The 5-second board is held aloft on the rostrum, waiting for those red lights to come on, and when they go out, we will be underway. Time to go racing here at Donington Park, and away they go. 25 minutes of Caterham racing then. Good start by the pole sitter, Ben Buckley. James McCall in the number 50, the green car. Watch for him down the inside. Slotting into second is Simon Shaw. Side by side for third between Cox and McCall, as they charge their way through Redgate corner for the first time. Merton Wood at the back in car number 13. They've all made it round Redgate into the Craner curves. It's Ben Buckley who leads from Simon Shaw in second. Who's that that's come through for third place? Looks like David Reed. A good start from 6th on the grid up into third place. James McCall is 4th, and Tom Power, it looks like, is possibly up into 5th position. Pick that up in a moment. See the times come in as they complete the first lap. They head along the bottom section of the circuit up towards the left at Schwantz Curve, then the right at McLean's. It's Buckley in the two-tone blue car that leads the way. Start to sort themselves out. I think it's Angus McLean in 5th place, in fact number 61, a similarly coloured car. Neil Evans, number 34, under fire from Mark Navarro, number 68, who's had a good season so far, back in the pack in this race in the early stages though. This is where we start to see them try and slipstream each other, and Simon Shaw is going to attack for the lead as they come into the chicane. This is a move you're going to see a lot in today's Caterham races. Up the inside, they're out of the slipstream, takes the lead into the chicane. They're all over each other on the way in. Looks like they have all survived that. A bit of a lock-up further back there. Simon Shaw who leads from Ben Buckley. David Reed is in 3rd place. That's James McCall 4th. Cox is in 5th position, number 131, John Cox. And it's number 130 in 6th. That's Roger Gaunt. He's running well. So the 2 front row men out in front, with Shaw ahead of Buckley into the Craner curves for the second time. The first 3 breaking away very slightly. Drop down towards the old hairpin. Number 86 of Simon Shaw, the Buckinghamshire driver, leads Buckley in second. Are they all going to get through the old hairpin okay this time? It looks like it's James McCall in 4th position. He hasn't been out of the top 2 this year. We've got a spinner. That's number 131. That is John Cox. He started towards the front. I think that's up at, is that up at Redgate or is it at the old hairpin? But he's gone off there. I think yes, that's going to call for a safety car. Here we go then, ready to go racing once again. The cars are released by the safety car and down towards Redgate. There you go, Ben Buckley able to attack for the lead here. He has a look around the outside there. Isn't going to get through. The leader, Simon Shaw, holds the line. 3rd place is David Reed. Then we've got McCall in 4th, McLean is 5th, Wheatley 6th, Alaric Barney is 7th. Then we've got Tom Power in that distinctive Dayglow yellow car. Ben Buckley trying to get into a position to attack as they go down into the right-hander at the old hairpin, but Simon Shaw holds it at the moment. James McCall closing up in 4th place. Watch for that green car. Here he comes onto the tail of his big rival this season, David Reed. David hasn't contested every round of the championship, so it's James McCall clear in the points. McCall up the outside. That's a brave move into McLean's round the outside. Can he make it sticky? Yes, he has. That's a rare move. Good stuff from James McCall. Here he comes attacking Ben Buckley now for second place. David Reed trying to fight back on the inside. McLean and Wheatley swarming around on their tails behind him, so it's going to be 6 for the lead here. What's going to happen as they come down the exhibition straight? You can see Simon Shaw moving to the inside to protect the line into the chicane. So McCall's going to try and go around the outside. He's got past Buckley. He tucks in. Look at Angus McLean up the inside. This is going to be close. McLean side by side, 3 wide into the chicane. That was very tight indeed. McLean had to back out in the number 61. Here they come down the straight then. It's Shaw from McCall this time. Buckley defending third from McLean. Wheatley's come through. The big loser and all that was David Reed. He's down to about 6th place. It could be down to 7th there as McLean up the inside. He's in 4th place. There's the 96 of Ben Wheatley. David Reed's been rather gobbled up by the pack there as a result of all that chopping and changing around the second half of the lap. Simon Shaw leads. Less than a second covers this first group. Ben Buckley defending 3rd place from Angus McLean, who's all over him. Reed's back up into 5th place. Wheatley's down to 7th because Tom Power has come through. There's the next group, number 142 in there. That's Ian Fortescue, the man from Stafford. Along the bottom of the circuit then up towards McLean's corner. Not Angus McLean's corner that time. He's still there in 4th, chasing Ben Buckley. At the inside, James McCall is going to try and make the move into Coppice. We said he'd be one to watch in this race. He's got the inside, just clips the curb on the inside. He's going to go through. Into the lead goes the number 50 car, the Sigma 135 championship leader. Ben Buckley is going to have a go as well in the blue car for second place. Shaw's caught on the outside here. He's going to have to be late on the brakes against James McCall. He's got McLean on his tail as well. Oh, goodness me, look at this pack building up, and that's allowed James McCall to escape a little through the chicane. Shaw and Buckley still side by side. Then it's McLean in 4th place, Angus McLean number 61. David Reed is 5th, 6th it's Tom Power, Wheatley 7th, Alaric Barney 8th, Ian Fortescue 9th, and number 95 Alistair Melton, the Cheshire driver, rounding out the top 10. Here come your leaders. James McCall from Ben Buckley. He's up the inside then into the chicane. It's going to be a change of lead once again. Ben Buckley takes the lead. Second place is James McCall. They've started to pull away very slightly from David Reed. He's busy defending from Angus McLean. Then we've got Simon Shaw, Tom Power, and the battle between Alaric Barney, Alistair Melton and Rob Wheatley in there as well as McCall up the inside into McLean. Retakes the place. He's sliding wide on the exit. It's still a little damp out there. As Ben Buckley starts to fight. That's his Caterham racing at its best. At the top of the Craner curves, Buckley goes back into the lead. That momentary loss of momentum, all it took for James McCall to lose the lead once again. Down into the old hairpin. Seen how easy it is to run wide on the exit there. Paul Farrell did that and spun last lap around. Farrell now down into 21st place as a result of that. He was as high as 6th. Along the bottom section of the course then. Here they come into McLean's. Angus McLean still there in 4th place, chasing David Reed. Through Coppice. Reed in the black car with the red and yellow stripe. Hanging on to the tails of the leaders here. McLean 4th, then a small gap back to Simon Shaw. Tom Power is 6th, Alaric Barney 7th, Alistair Melton is 8th. As James McCall has a look again into the chicane. We said we'd see this move take place a few times. McCall goes through, and the 42 car there, Ben Buckley, is losing a front wing there. You can see it flapping on the right front wheel. Is that going to slow his progress? I don't think so. We've got 12 and a half minutes of this race to go, so we're up to half distance in this Caterham Graduate Sigma 135 category race. Buckley going round the outside into Redgates. That's a good move there as James McCall tries to fight back. Reed and McLean closing up. These four are now a couple of seconds clear of Simon Shaw in 5th place. McLean's just done the fastest lap of the race, 1:21.839. He's behind this group trying to tow up to the back of them. David Reed all over James McCall for 2nd place. There's Shaw, the yellow car, in 5th. Alaric Barney is now up to 6th. Simon Melton 7th. Tom Power has fallen down to 8th. Through they come. Up towards Coppice. Swing their way through the right-hander. See the two apexes there, and now David Reed's getting in position to make a move on James McCall, but he's being forced to go to the outside. They're going to be 3 wide into the chicane here. Ben Buckley doesn't know which side to defend on. Oh, this is going to be close. McCall at the inside retakes the lead. David Reed had to back out there on the outside in car number 62, the man from the northwest. Here they come then, over the line, 0.6 of a second covers the four of them here. Buckley's going to go to the inside again, Reed's on the outside, he can't get the correct positioning, and McCall is just about to defend here. Reed goes for the outside through red gates, he's going to run wide over the curb there, and McLean's having a go, he's going to go to the inside. Now McLean's seen an opening there. This is going to be a brave move down the crane of curbs. He's got past Reed, he won't get past Buckley. That was a very brave bit of driving by Angus McLean up into third place, but it's McCall that's got the lead. Of course, the harder they battle, they're going to lose time to Simon Shaw. New fastest lap of the race by Alistair Melton, who's up into sixth place. That time through the blue and orange car, just ahead of Alaric Barney. Then it's Tom Power, Ian Fortescue and Keith Skillicorn rounding out the top 10. Chris Skillicorn, I should say. Keith Skillicorn used to race hot rods at Barford Raceway in the northeast. Apologies there. Over the curb there on the inside at Coppice. David Reed trying to attack Angus McLean back again for this third place. It's Ben Buckley defending the lead from McCall. They're never going to get four wide into the chicane. That's not going to work. McCall goes around the outside. He retakes the lead. Reed will try and retake third place as well. Alistair Melton is up into fifth ahead of Simon Shaw now, the man who started from the front row. Here they come. Oh, and where on earth was 61 going there? Angus McLean. He nearly hit the back of David Reed. I think there might be some damage to Angus McLean's car, the way he was jinking the car around there. I thought something had broken there. He very nearly hit David Reed. He got his exit from the chicane wrong there. Did he run wide onto the grass there and have to slide back on? I'm not sure. Alistair Melton is still fifth. That's created a bit of a hole in this battle now. They split into two pairs, and here comes Ben Buckley. Has a look as they go down into the old hairpin. Reed in third place. There's McLean in fourth. He's recovered from that moment coming onto the Wheatcroft straight. Looking at some of the battles further back here. Plenty of fights all the way down the order. Meantime, the leaders coming out of McLean. It's McCall against Buckley continuing their fight. McCall actually pulls away a little bit there. There's Reed. There's McLean. I think he's having some sort of a handling issue. That car seems to be flapping around a little. Melton there in the blue and orange car is fifth. Now what's going to happen into the chicane this time? Buckley's going to go for the inside. He goes through. Here comes McLean up the outside. He's going to try and take Reed here. As Buckley leads them through. Here they come then down the straight. James McCall moves out to try and get around the outside into red gates. Is he going to do it? It's going to have to be very late on the brakes here. We get round Ben Buckley. Is he going to get the overlap on him? I don't think he is. They're going to be side by side towards the crane. There's Angus McLean running wide. I caught a glimpse of there. I think that was Angus running over the gravel. Yes, it was. He's lost out to Simon Shaw. Ben Buckley holds Liz. Another one gone wide there. That might be Simon White, I think, the back marker we saw being lapped. So maybe Angus McLean clipped him going into Redgate there. Well, the first two have been able to get away slightly as a result of that. Third is David Reed. There's Shaw in fourth. McLean is down to fifth now. Sixth, Alaric Barney heads the next group. It's James McCall. He's been first or second in every race for this category this year, chasing Ben Buckley. Here comes James McCall. He's going for the inside. He's not waiting for the chicane this time. He wants to get through at Coppice. That's going to give Buckley the opportunity. Oh, that was a bit of a slide there for James McCall. Brave move up the inside. That's going to allow Ben Buckley the chance to get back up the inside on the straight, though, and down into the chicane to take the lead. Now David Reed's closing up on them as well. Buckley moves across, and look at Simon Shaw. He's caught them. He's going to have a go at these three now. Buckley in the middle. Reed on the inside is going to go for second. McCall holds him off. Buckley's got the lead back again. Shaw just looking on. Here they come then. We've got about 1 minute 23 as they cross the line. They might get two more laps out of this. I didn't see a last lap board. It's Ben Buckley from James McCall, David Reed and Simon Shaw, and in the background there Angus McLean being edged towards the grass there as he fights it out with Chris Skillicorn and Alaric Barney. They had a bit of a to and fro at the chicane as well. So it's impossible to know which battle to watch here at the moment, and in the background there's about 6 or 7 cars going for fifth place. Ben Buckley pulls away slightly into the lead now ahead of James McCall. There's a fight towards the back of the field. 199, that's Michael Curley. Qualified well in damp conditions yesterday, but has dropped back down the order. Battling with the 92, Aki Hussein. There go the top four. Up the hill towards Coppice. Ben Buckley slid a bit wide through there. He's pushing hard to try and hold off James McCall. McCall back up onto his tail. Here they come. Down towards the chicane. McCall's going to surely slipstream him again. Try to. He's not going to get the inside though. David Reed moves up on them. They're going to be close again coming into what's going to be the last lap. Only 8 seconds on the clock as they come off the chicane. There's the last lap board. Here we go then, 1 lap to go. Will it be Buckley, McCall, Reed or Shaw? The next battle is headed up, I think, by Alaric Barney now. Everybody else is fighting for 5th. To the inside goes David Reed, to the inside goes James McCall. They almost went 3 wide and Buckley's lost it. Round goes Ben Buckley. Oh, what a disappointment. He'd held on in the lead battle for so long. Just pushing a little bit too hard there. He rejoins, he'll be turning the air blue inside his crash helmet there. He's down to at least 4th place, so it's James McCall from David Reed. They've had a fierce rivalry all season long. They come up to lap a back marker there as they go through Starkeys. And David Reed's making a move to the inside here. They're side by side on the run up towards McLean's. Reed could have the inside. He hasn't led at any point during this race, but he doesn't want to be leading going into the final chicane because McCall will slipstream him. David Reed has taken the lead through McLean's there. McCall on his tail, Shaw behind them. Here they come into Coppice. It's between these 3 now. What's going to happen into the chicane? McCall's going to move to the inside. David Reed's going to have to defend. Look at Simon Shaw. The yellow car is all over them, deciding which side he's going to go. McCall up the inside. He's judged this very well indeed. He goes up the inside, takes the lead into the final chicane. It looks like it is going to be James McCall. Trying to cut back is David Reed. They're almost going to finish side by side. This is going to be close. They're going to finish 3 wide across the line. It's going to be a photo finish. Who's going to get there? I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell who got that. According to the timing screen, Simon Shaw won it. That is one of the best finishes to a race I've ever seen, and certainly the closest. Well, the timing has now been corrected, and it's now showing James McCall as the winner. We have to wait for the timing to correct itself, of course. Bring you the provisional results. James McCall the winner by 1/1000th of a second, and Simon Shaw third by 0.049 of a second. Chris Skillicorn 4th, Ben Buckley recovering for 5th after his spin, Alaric Barney 6th ahead of Oliver Smith, then Tom Power 8th, Ian Fortescue 9th, and Angus McLean dropping back to 10th. Cars making their way onto the grid then for our second Caterham Graduates Racing Club race of the day, the Sigma 150 and Sigmax categories. Harry Senior, the Sigmax Championship leader, on pole position. Points leader in the Sigma 150 division, Jamie Elwood alongside him. Second row, Simon Goodwin and Jamie Winrow. And on row number 3, we have got Stephen Clark, number 25, James de Lusignan alongside him. Row 4, Andy Ebden and Ben Winrow, Jonathan Curry and Adam Bettinson completing the first 10. Huge field of 39 cars. This will be a 25-minute race for the Caterham Graduates Racing Club. This is going to be an ultra-close slipstreaming race. This will be a 20-minute race, just come up on the timing screen, so 20 minutes for the Caterhams. Green flag waves at the back of the grid. 5-second board is held up by the starting marshal, waiting for the red lights to come on. Harry Senior versus Jamie Elwood on the front row, and away they go. Down towards the first corner at Redgate. Good start by Jamie Elwood. A poor start by Harry Senior. There's a little bit of contact in there already. Somebody, I think that's Andy Ebden, has lost a wing into the first corner. Jamie Elwood leads it. That was quite a poor start by Harry Senior. He's down to about 5th position from pole as they head into the first corner. More wings go flying as they jostle their way through Redgate and Hollywood for the first time. Jamie Elwood has a clear lead ahead of Simon Goodwin in second. Stephen Clark is up into 3rd place in the blue and black car. Jamie Winrow is 4th, and Harry Senior down to 5th. Somebody going off over the grass there on the Craner curves. I think that's Can't quite see who that is at the moment. I thought it was Graham Hopkins. No, he's there at the back. Pick up who that was in a moment. It was the number 43 car. That's Nigel Smith. Running wide there, I think that's Harry Senior coming out of McLean's there in 5th position, but it's Jamie Elwood, Caterham Graduates Racing Club veteran of over 20 years, who leads the way as they dance their way through McLean's up towards Coppice for the first time. Elwood leads. Stephen Clark has got past Simon Goodwin up into 2nd place. Jamie Winrow has a look down the inside. Harry Senior fighting back, but he's gone to the outside for the Robert chicane. Winrow up the inside takes 3rd place from Simon Goodwin. Charge their way through ultra close through the chicane for the first time. It's Jamie Elwood who has got the lead. 2nd place is Stephen Clark. Harry Senior is going to try and challenge here as they go into Redgate. There's more wings go flying. Andy Ebden is trying to shed all his wings off the 54 car. I think there loses out to number 69 of Jonathan Curry. He comes through. Down the Craner curves. Clark in 2nd, Goodwin is 3rd, then Jamie Winrow side by side with Harry Senior. I'll have the inside here for the old hairpin, will he? No, Bob's back in behind Jamie Winrow. Then behind him is the number 102 car of James de Lusignan. They fight their way up through towards Schwantz curve, then it's up into the right-hander at McLean's. Jamie Elwood coming under a bit of pressure from Stephen Clark, trying to pull some points back in the championship. A non-finish at Thruxton in one of the races there thwarted his bid for the championship lead. Chasing now Jamie Elwood. 3rd place is Goodwin. Then we've got Winrow in 4th place. Start to fan out across the straight here, going round the outside is Stephen Clark. He's going to have to brake late here if he's going to take the lead. He's got him round the outside. He got him before they reached the braking zone. Harry Senior up the inside dives ahead of Jamie Winrow. Then we've got de Lusignan, Ben Winrow, and the rest of them come through. Here they come up towards the line. Jamie Elwood will try and retake the lead into Redgate. Yes, he's got the slipstream from Stephen Clark. He goes through, retakes the lead. Elwood that leads from Stephen Clark. Clark the leading Sigmax category runner. Simon Goodwin in a Sigma 150 is 3rd. Then Harry Senior is 4th. Now here they come down towards the chicane at the end of the exhibition straight. Stephen Clark almost being bump drafted there by Harry Senior. Jamie Elwood loses the lead once again. He's locked up. Oh, nearly hit the back of Stephen Clark, trying to hold off Harry Senior. The 2 championship leaders side by side. And we've got Simon Goodwin behind them in car 38. 1.1 second covers the top 4, 1.7 seconds covers the top 7 as they came over the line. Look at this, they're swarming up on the back of Elwood, who goes to the inside on Harry Senior. Clark leads, Elwood back into 2nd, then Senior. Goodwin and Jamie Winrow side by side, then it's de Lusignan and Ben Winrow. Clear of Andy Ebden in 8th, Jonathan Curry is 9th, and in 10th place is the number 83, Jonathan Ems. Side by side for 2nd, Harry Senior dives through on the inside. First 8 have now broken away. They start to fan out. Harry Senior dives for the outside. He puts 2 wheels onto the grass there, running down into Redgate. He won't get past Stephen Clark on the grass. Cuts back in. Jamie Elwood still 3rd. Then Jamie Winrow in 4th. Stephen Clark takes the tighter line into the Craners. Harry Senior's never going to get through there. Surely he's side by side on the run down to the old hairpin. He has got through. Oh, that's a brave bit of driving by Harry Senior. You don't very often see overtakes at the Craners like that. Andy Ebden trying to close up. He wants a bit of this as well. 8 of them together. Ems and Curry rounding out the top 10. They're trying to go 3 wide down to the chicane. Stephen Clark goes for the inside. He's going to retake the lead under braking. He's done so. Simon Goodwin up the inside. He's going to try and take both the Winrow boys in one move. Jamie Winrow moves him out wide as they come off the chicane. They could lose out to Andy Ebden. Meantime, Harry Senior goes to the outside again on the run into Redgate. He's going to get through. Had enough momentum there coming off the chicane to slipstream Stephen Clark, and he retakes the lead. Clark down to 2nd. Elwood is there in 3rd. He doesn't need to worry about challenging the 2 ahead of him. They're in a different category to him. First 3 have broken clear slightly of Jamie Winrow, battling with Simon Goodwin down the Craners. Then we've got Ben Winrow in 6th position. Then Ben Winrow is back behind him. Then James de Lusignan and Andy Ebden, and Stephen Clark to the inside into the chicane. He does this every time. Retakes the lead. Simon Goodwin to the inside as well. He's split the 2 Winrows in 5th place overall. First 8 have broken away from the rest of the field well and truly. Harry Senior goes to the inside this time into Redgate, and he goes through again. Stephen Clark, knowing what he needs to do, he hangs back for the rest of the lap, and if he can do that move into the chicane on the final lap of the race, he'll take the win. Elwood is next, then Jamie Winrow's closing up now. The first 3 a lap ago had broken away slightly, but Jamie Winrow's back there now, and Simon Goodwin, 5 of them line astern. Car about to be lapped. Graham Hopkins, number 177, is going to be lapped here. Here comes Stephen Clark to the inside. He's going to do it again into the chicane. Yep, retakes the lead. Done that a fair few times at that spot. Through the chicane. Graham Hopkins will move aside and allow the lead pack to go through. Now Harry Senior darts out from behind Stephen Clark. He's going to attack back again into Redgate to retake the lead. He goes through, and Jamie Winrow's up the inside as well. He can sense second overall. He goes through. Stephen Clark a little bit sideways there on the run into Redgate by the look of it, and he's down to 3rd. That's how quickly everything can change in Caterham racing. Clark fights back side by side down the Craners with Jamie Winrow. Inches between the two of them. Clark up the inside and on the brakes for the old hairpin. He's got him back again. Great bit of driving by Stephen Clark. Nice to move to the inside. No, Jamie Elwood's having a look though. Clark's not close enough this time. Ben Winrow up the inside attacks James de Lusignan. De Lusignan goes briefly over the gravel there. Ben Winrow is through. Andy Ebden trying to get through as well. Stephen Clark to the inside. Jamie Winrow to the inside. Stephen Clark's going to retake the lead into Redgate, and he's done it. Jamie Winrow still leads the Sigma 150s in 3rd place ahead of Elwood and Goodwin. 3rd Sigmax is Ben Winrow, the yellow and red car. 2 Winrows running in different divisions. Harry Senior's done it again down the Craner curves. He is very brave through that section. Brilliant from young Harry Senior in the 28s. This is fantastic racing. Up towards the right-hander at McLean's once again. 11 minutes of the race to go. Here's some of the runners further down the field coming through. You can see there's plenty of battles everywhere that you look. And the battle for 9th is now headed by Jonathan Ems ahead of Curry, Christie and Whitton. So Andrew Whitton's lost a couple of places. Douglas Christie's got past him. Here come the leaders. Oh, and off go James de Lusignan and Ben Winrow. De Lusignan over the gravel. Winrow's recovered it. He just went too wide there, leaning on each other through coppice. Harry Senior retakes the lead from Stephen Clark, meanwhile, at the inside yet again. They're swapping places for fun, those two. Well, there's Ben Winrow. He's recovered, just went onto the grass there. He's lost out to Andy Ebden, though. So de Lusignan lost a lot more time. He went over the gravel, but has been able to keep going. Stephen Clark up the inside. Jamie Winrow defending from Jamie Elwood. Winrow could go for the overall lead here up the inside. Side by side with Harry Senior. Winrow leading his class, the Sigma 150s. You can see from the yellow sticker on his roll cage. Sends Jamie Elwood out wide there, side by side down the Craners, but Elwood keeps his foot in. And he's saying, well, if Harry Senior can do that, so can I, he says. And he takes 3rd and the lead of the Sigma 150s. Meantime, here come the leaders. Stephen Clark up the inside, takes the lead yet again. Jamie Winrow is back up into 3rd. He's done the fastest lap of the race, 1:18.536. 5th is Simon Goodwin. Over the line they come. There's Ben Winrow in the background trying to make up for lost ground, having run wide at Coppice a couple of laps ago. Senior to the inside again. I've lost count of the number of times these two have swapped places already, and there's still 7.5 minutes to go. Clark to the inside, he's going to do it again. Nearly every lap of the race he's done this. Underneath Harry Senior, back into the lead. First 4 have broken away now from Simon Goodwin. The back marker ahead here, they need to be mindful. Down the straight they come into Redgate. This time Stephen Clark didn't break the toe, he's held off Harry Senior. This is good stuff. Is Senior going to attack as a result of that down the Craner curve? He's still in the slipstream there. This is how you race in Caterham. You stay as tight behind the car in front as you can and slipstream. Won't get through at the old head. Winrow 3rd, Elwood 4th, Goodwin 5th. Here's a good scrap further back in the order. That's Adam Bettinson battling his way back up, fighting with 172 of Mark Smith. Bettinson we saw spin coming out of the old hairpin earlier on. Here are the leaders, still Clark from senior. And they're coming up on a bit of back marker traffic. Let's see who it is who's about to be lapped here. And Clark a little wide there through Coppice. This could allow senior to play him at his own game into the chicane. Yeah, Clark moves across to the inside. There's the back marker ahead. 137 car, I think. Side by side. Clark defending the inside line. You're not playing me at my own game, says Stephen Clark, and he holds off Harry Senior. Jamie Elwood coming up to attack. Yes, 137, the car to be lapped. Will Price from Peterborough needs to move aside here and let the leaders through. He does so into red gates. Stephen Clark has held his lead. Just over 2 minutes to go, so a couple of laps left in this brilliant thrash for the Caterhams. Jamie Winrow still with the fastest lap of the race in third place, leads the Sigma 150s ahead of Elwood and Goodwin. Ben Winrow is the third of the Sigmax cars, I should say. He's further back. He's a scrap further back in the order, coming down towards red gates. Almost 3 wide on the way in there. Ahead of that group number 122. That's the car of Gary Curtis. There's a fight further back for around 15th, 16th place. Black and white flag gone out for number 24, Ben Winrow. Possibly a warning for driving standards there. He's further back in 6th. Here come the leaders. They'll be coming round to start their final lap this time, I think. Stephen Clark moves to the inside. Now they'll start to position themselves, ready to make their finishing moves as soon as they see the last lap signal. Clark defending the inside. Now he's limbering up to do that on the last lap if he has to defend from Harry Senior. They're coming out onto the Wheatcroft straight. The last lap board is out, and this is the signal. You can see them starting to go at it now. Jamie Elwood was straight on the throttle there around Jamie Winrow. He's got him into the class lead. He's sliding all over the place. You can see that last lap signal went out, and they're all instantly going at it. Now Elwood's going to try and defend from Jamie Winrow because he wants to win the class and get third overall. Doesn't want to worry about the 2 ahead of him. They're in the Sigmax division. Through the old hairpin. Another battle further back in the midfield there. Number 33 of Gareth Cordy at the head of this group. That's the fight for 16th place ahead of Curtis, Earlham and the rest of them. And it's between Clark and Senior for the overall race win. Stephen Clark has not taken a win in Sigmax this year. Could this be his first, or is Harry Senior going to get him into the final chicane? He's positioning himself to try and slipstream him. We've got to watch the third place pair as well of Elwood and Winrow. Here they come. Stephen Clark moves to defend on the inside. There's a back marker ahead as well, and Harry Senior is going to try and go around the outside. So is Winrow. Clark defends through the chicane. Big lock up from Jamie Elwood. He's going to go over the gravel. They both go over the gravel. Elwood comes out in front. Who's going to win it? It's going to be side by side. Stephen Clark's going to hang on. He takes his first win of the season, and it's side by side across the line. Jamie Winrow gets there ahead of Jamie Elwood to win the Sigma 150s. Simon Goodwin is 5th. Let's have a look at the results then. He beat Harry Senior home, Stephen Clark, by 0.071 of a second. Not quite as close as the Sigma 135s. Jamie Winrow wins the Sigma 150 class, just ahead of Jamie Elwood by 0.2 of a second. Simon Goodwin completes their top 3. Ben Winrow, the third Sigmax car, home in 6th overall. 7th was James de Lusignan, just pipping Andy Ebden on the line. And Doug Christie and Jonathan Ems rounding out the top 10. Cars on the grid then, ready for this 20-minute race for the CNC Head Sports and Saloon Car Championship. We've just had a bit of news through. Unfortunately, we haven't got either of these Space Frame Escorts. Both Darren Owen and Tim Foxlow have had engine trouble in qualifying and will not be starting. Thanks to Paul Smallman for the information there. Kingsley Ingram in the Ford Mustang is starting from the pit lane by the look of things. Away they go then, and it's John Wolfitz, so it looks like, who has got the lead into the first corner. 20 minutes of racing, and it is John Wolfett who takes the early lead in the number 94, the Spire GTR. Second place is Paul Rose in the black Seika, and third place, number 13 of Paul Dobson. Luke Armiger in the Tiger is fourth, and then the awesome Calsonic Skyline. Car familiar to Gran Turismo players of Rick Wood, the championship sponsor and classic touring car collector, is up there in fifth place. John Wolfett, who's taken several overall wins in a couple of championships this year, leads the way. But it's a class-based championship, classes A, B, C, D and F. There's no Class C entries here this weekend. There's Don Hughes moving through in the Peugeot 306. A bit of smoke out of the back of the Skyline. Looks like Rick Wood is in trouble. Meanwhile, Paul Dobson, the Class B points leader, making a move on Luke Armiger there. They're battling for third. Behind them is Steve Harris, the number 47 Seika sports car. Rick Wood comes through next in the smoking Skyline. He completes the first lap then with John Wolfett in the lead ahead of Paul Rose. Luke Armiger in that space frame Vauxhall Tigra, under fire from Steve Harris in the green JPR run Seika, comes through. There's Wood in the Skyline. Then we've got the third of the Seikas, David Clark. Don Hughes in the Peugeot. And next through is the BMW M3, that's Jack Egar. But these two have gone clear. John Wolfett in his Spire sports car, so named because it's built in Chesterfield, the city of the crooked spire, of course. Rick Wood, that smoke seems to be clearing now. The Skyline is okay. There's the overall champion from last year, an overall championship leader, the little red Ginetta of Jamie Cryer, the Lancashire driver. This series run by the Northwest Centre of the BARC, the British Automobile Racing Club, based at Alton Park, but they race across the country. They go to Cadwell Park, Croft here at Donington, Knockhill in Scotland as well. You do get extra points if you race at an away round away from Alton Park. You also get points if you spend a day marshalling at an event as well. If the drivers take time off to marshal, they get extra championship points. A good initiative indeed. We've had a change for the lead. Meanwhile, Paul Rose, who, to be fair, normally wins these races overall in his very powerful Dutch-built Seika sports car leads. We've got one car in the pits there. That's Gary Wardle. The Seat Leon Cupra is in the pits. Gary Wardle's rejoined. He's raced various cars in this championship over the years. A Ginetta, a Porsche, a BMW Mini, now in his Seat Leon Cupra, a TCR spec car, I think that one is. Certainly looks like one. Raced by Paul Rose. Paul Rose also the promoter of the Fun Cup endurance racing series for space frame cars with VW Beetle lookalike body shells. Saw them in action at Silverstone in a 4-hour race earlier this year. I think Paul's son Christian was racing in that, if I remember correctly. Paul's away and gone in front here in his Seika. He's leading by nearly 5.5 seconds now over John Wolfett, second in the Spire. And we see our class leaders then. Class D has changed. It is Rick Walker leading the class now. The only other car in Class D is Gary Wardle, and he made a pit stop at the end of the first lap. There's Guy Carter, that's a lovely TVR Tuscan. We've not seen much of that car yet, Blackpool's finest. Back in the 90s, there was that great one-make series for those rumbling beasts as well. Even the great Jerry Marshall raced in them in his early days, one of Britain's greatest ever national level racers. Guy Carter at the wheel of the TVR there gets put a lap down by the flying Paul Rose. Still about 8 seconds clear of Steve Harris in the battle of the Seikas. John Wolfett still third overall, he leads Class B. And we've got Paul Dobson in fifth position. It is the third Seika, David Clark. Then we've got Andy Bicknell's Ginetta, who's being reeled in by Don Hughes in the Peugeot 306. He leads Class E. Now, Guy Carter, he's 8th overall in the TVR. That shows how quickly Paul Rose is going. He's lapped everybody up to 8th place now. David Clark is lapped by his team leader, Paul Rose. Just under 2.5 minutes of this race to go.
David Clark, so it now means that 4 cars remain on the same lap at this stage, so they're over the start finish line with 2 minutes.
There's Jamie Cryer, the little red Ginetta. He leads Class E and looking for the overall championship for the second year running. There he goes into the Craners. And another class leader behind him, Bruce Carter. Carter is a couple of laps down now. 15th place. Jamie Cryer ahead of him is 10th overall, so Carter a lap down on Cryer. Last lap this time, I think, for Paul Rose. Pretty dominant drive. He's nearly 13 seconds up now, but you can certainly appreciate, as we said, the variety in this series. You can use anything you like, whether it's a small standard hatchback right up to a special saloon type of car. This is the series where a lot of the old special saloon and super saloon races from the 70s and 80s ended up when the championship was dissolved. The Thunder Saloons as well. I remember Rick Ward racing the old Vauxhall Calibra Thunder Saloon in this series a few years ago in the 90s. Look at all these back markers ahead of Steve Harris here in the bright green Seika. Gary Wardle, Bruce Carter, Kingsley Ingram and Rick Walker as well. Walker waves him through. Oh, there's contact. I thought there might be problems there. The Mustang has been hit. He turned in there. He didn't see the Seika. Kingsley Ingram, and the new Mustang is damaged. Oh dear. He just turned in there. He didn't see Steve Harris was coming through on the inside. Maybe Steve was too busy waving back at Rick Walker there. Well, he continues. He's still second. Lost a couple of seconds there. Well, it's going to be checkered flag this time for Paul Rose. There is another race to come later on. Hopefully we'll see the full complement of cars out for that one. Sadly, no escorts, and hopefully we'll see the Alfa Romeo and the Lotus out in that one. Hopefully we'll hear that Lotus as well. Paul Rose all on his own. Now, will it be last lap this time? Let's double check on the time. So yes, it's 20 minutes plus 1 lap, in fact, so it will be 1 lap to go this time. Apologies there. As he comes in, there's the last lap board, so it is 1 lap to go. It's 20 minutes plus 1 lap is the rule in this series, slightly different to the other races we see this weekend. Almost forgot there. There's John Wolfett further back in 3rd place, the Spire. Jake Johnson is lapped in the Fiesta. There's Paul Rotheroe, there's that Citroen Zara VTS. Zara also well known as an ice racing car. In the Andros Trophy in France, we saw them compete there against the likes of Ivan Muller. There's the Caterham being lapped. That's Richard Hall. So coming round to the checkered flag this time. Paul Rose in the JPR run. Seika coming through towards the checkered flag. He's taken the majority of the overall wins this year. Here he comes towards the Roberts chicane for the final time. Nobody threatening his lead, apart from briefly John Wolfett in the opening laps. It's going to be a win for Paul Rose, number 48 in the Seika, crosses the line to take the win by a clear margin ahead of his teammate Steve Harris in the green machine. He's just coming into the chicane now. I think he's just lapped the 3rd Seika of David Clark. Yes, there he is. Steve Harris comes over in 2nd despite that collision with a back marker a couple of laps from home. He takes 2nd place. 3rd is going to be John Wolfett. He will win Class B in the Spire GTR. Jamie Cryer comes across the line behind him. He wins Class E, I think. Okay, we can now confirm the results. A Seika 1-2 then. Paul Rose ahead of Steve Harris by 16.3 seconds. John Wolfett winning Class B in 3rd in the Spire. The only other car on the lead lap was Paul Dobson in the low-cost 7 in 4th. David Clark 5th ahead of Ginetta of Andy Bicknell, and 7th for Guy Carter's TVR. Don Hughes taking the Class E victory in 8th overall ahead of Paul Rotheroe, and Jamie Cryer only 3rd in class, completing the top 10. Ian Bruce in his Honda Civic was 11th ahead of Chris Marys in 12th in his Honda. 13th went to Richard Hall in the Caterham. Gary Wardle catching Rick Walker to win Class D in the Cupra ahead of the Mini. 16th place went to Graham Smith, and he caught Bruce Carter to win Class F. Behind them, Peter Koukoulas in the Toyota MR2, Jake Johnson's Ford Fiesta, and the remaining cars failing to finish that one. Cars on the grid then, and in the pit lane, ready for race number 2 of the weekend for the CNC Heads Northwest Sports and Saloon Car Championship. 2 of the Sakers have pulled in, Steve Harris and David Clark. Rick Wood in the Skyline is in the pit lane. Chris Mary's with his Honda Civic as well. So there's not going to be all that many cars left to start from the grid, whether they're making late adjustments here. So Rick Wood and Chris Mary's, they're going to start from the pit lane. Hopefully the Sakers are going to join in as well. It's the 3rd Saker of Paul Rose, who will start from pole position on the grid alongside John Wolfett in the Spire GTR. Paul Dobson in the low-cost 7 on 2nd row. There's a gap next to him where Luke Armiger should have been. He's not out. There's now a gap on row 3 where both of row 3 should have been, and a gap behind that. So there's quite a lot of gaps on the grid. Hopefully the Sakers are going to start from the pit lane as well. Gary Wardle's there with the Seat. Andy Bicknell in the Ginetta. No Jack Egar, the BMW M3 is not there. Don Hughes is there with his Peugeot 306. Jamie Cryer's little Ginetta G20, number 1. Roger Evans in the Alfa Romeo Special Saloon is there. Green flag waves at the back of the grid then. This is a 20-minute race plus 1 lap. You can see some of the variety towards the back of this slightly reduced grid. The red lights come on then, and ready to rumble with the CNC Heads Northwest Sports and Saloons. Away they go. Super start by John Wolfett in the Spire GTR. Paul Rose using the power of the Saker. And look at Paul Dobson up the outside in the low-cost 7. It's 3 wide into Redgate for the first time. Paul Dobson, I think, has lost it. We saw the back of the low-cost 7 come round there. Now, has he saved that? So I'm not sure. No, there he is, going over the gravel. Heading down the Craner curves then now. Who has got the lead? It's Paul Rose and John Wolfett fighting it up for the lead. Andy Bicknell is next through, and Jamie Cryer's going well. He's up there in 4th overall, I think, in the little Ginetta G20. There's Paul Dobson. He's recovered from running wide there, nearly spun it. Rejoined over the gravel. There are the leaders. It's John Wolfett in the Spire GTR. He gets a bit of a twitch coming out of McLean's, and through goes Paul Rose. Didn't take him long. Takes the lead from John Wolfett. They are in different classes, those two. Paul Rose Class A, Wolfett's Class B. Still treacherous out there, as you can see, these two sports racers twitching on the turns. Down into the chicane for the first time. Paul Rose, vastly experienced racing driver, heads the pack ahead of John Wolfett. They're a long way clear of, I think it's Andy Bicknell in 3rd place in the black Ginetta. They're way ahead of him. There he is, the Ginetta G50 in 3rd place. 4th is Paul Rotheroe, the Citroën Zara. And we said it's well known as a rally car, the Zara. He started back on row 9 and he's already up into 4th place. Start to sort themselves out then. Andy Bicknell. Did Andy Bicknell come out of the chicane? He hasn't come up on the timing there. Is his transponder not working? Wait to see if that corrects itself. Yes, I think his transponder isn't working. There's Rick Wood in the Nissan Skyline, drawing up onto the side of Rick Walker in the BMW Mini. Mastering the power of that machine. He is at his most comfortable, Rick Wood, in big, powerful saloon cars. Graham Smith there hits the water splash in the MX-5. And there's that Alfa Romeo, Roger Evans in the Alfa Special Saloon Giulietta, as I call it, with the 8C engine. Remarkable machine, that one. Yes, Andy Bicknell is still there in 3rd place, I can tell you. His transponder isn't working, so he didn't come up on the timing straight away. 4th, it's Paul Rotheroe. Then we've got Gary Wardle in the Seat. Jamie Cryer is in 6th place. Roger Evans in 7th. There's the Seat Cupra in 5th. Paul Dobson has recovered to 8th. Then it's Ian Bruce and Guy Carter rounding out the top 10. We are in for some unusual results in this one, I reckon. 2 Sakers, they have joined in from the pits, I think, the other 2 Sakers, so watch for them coming through. Paul Rotheroe is going brilliantly up there in 4th overall in the Citroën Zara. He's leading Class E. And one man who won't like that is Jamie Cryer, the championship leader. Gary Wardle, he leads Class D. Paul Dobson behind him. He's a Class B run. That's being led by John Wolfett. There is Exige clone, I should say. There is the 47 of Steve Harris. Now, where's he got up to now, Steve Harris, having started from the pits in the mean green Saker? Behind him is David Clark. They're behind Don Hughes in the Peugeot, so they're up to 15th and 16th behind the 306. Don Hughes struggling with the conditions a bit here through the water splash. Keep an eye on. There's our Class B leader, that's John Wolfett. He's been left on his own now that Paul Rose has pulled away. He's 18 seconds off Paul Rose and about 16 seconds clear of Andy Bicknell in the Ginetta. Paul Rose coming up to lap his running mate Steve Harris, who's now 8th. Where's the other Saker? 12th place, David Clark. Got ahead of Ian Bruce now. Rick Wood is now in 5th position. He's got ahead of Gary Wardle. There he is, and they're soon going to be lapped by Paul Rose, who's completed 8 laps. Lapping in the 123s now. Paul Dobson is 3rd, ahead of Paul Rotheroe. Rotheroe still leads Class E. Could be on for his best ever overall results here in that 4th place if he keeps going. Bicknell is 5th in the Ginetta. There is the Skyline, now got ahead of Gary Wardle in the more modern Seat Cupra. Another flash of flame from the exhaust. Now here's our class leader in Class F we caught a glimpse of there, I think it is. Yes, that's Bruce Carter. He's just taken the lead of that class, in fact, from Graham Smith in the MX-5. So Bruce Carter is now leading Class F. Graham Smith just pipped him to the class win in race 1, so roles being reversed here at the moment. 7 minutes of this race to go. What's the gap going to be this time? 43 seconds is now the lead gap. Still lapping at 5 seconds a lap quicker is Paul Rose. Oh, Steve Harris sliding about there, and he lets Paul Rose through at last. Yeah, the Sakers, they're running mates these, so they're just having a bit of fun racing together there, but a mistake from Steve Harris. He's got a bit too much power fed in there to the Subaru-powered machine, and he drops behind our race leader to lap him. Paul Dobson in the low-cost 7 still 3rd, a further 22 seconds down on Wolfett. Paul Rotheroe is about to be lapped out. Here comes Andy Bicknell attacking Rotheroe. Try and go through on the outside into Redgate over the river of standing water. That's the worst section of the track at the moment. Rotheroe holds on. This is a good run by Paul Rotheroe in the Zara. Oh, we said a Citroen Zara used to be used in ice racing as well as rallying. It probably is a bit like ice racing out there at the moment. There's the Skyline, still there in 6th position. He's behind Steve Harris now. Saker up to 5th. Just seen him get lapped, so there's only 4 cars on the lead lap now, I think. Just have to wait for everything to correct itself. No, Harris is 6th and Wood 7th. We have to wait for the timing to correct itself because Andy Bicknell's Ginetta's transponder isn't working, so he has to be timed manually, and it takes a bit of a delay. Rotheroe is now going to be lapped. So everybody up to 4th place has been lapped by the flying Paul Rose. He's raced Road Saloons, he's raced Radicals, he's raced Fun Cup, the series he promotes. Full-time in motorsports. Here's Paul Rose, and a great guy he is as well. Very talented and very rapid driver. Here comes Steve Harris. Now this is for position, this is not lapping cars. This green Saker has caught Andy Bicknell. Now remember, Steve Harris started from the pits. He's made up the ground. He's going past Bicknell, he's going past Rotheroe as well. That'll put him into 4th place. There goes Rose. 2.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Best lap of the race, a 122.464. Everybody else lapping in the 127s, 128s. Wolfett is nearly a minute down now on Paul Rose. There is Bruce Carter leading Class F. There's Graham Smith in 2nd place in the MX-5. David Clark in his Saker, he's 9th. The leader comes through the chicane. Rick Walker's gained 2 places on the last lap. He's up to 10th ahead of Cryer and Guy Carter. The TBR struggling in the wet. Oh, Paul Rose sideways, the leader's going to spin it. Oh, Paul Rose, he's in the gravel. Oh goodness, can he get out of there? Now, it's a rear-wheel drive car. He needs to be careful here. He's going to get out, I think. Disaster averted. Good save, Paul Rose. Now he's a minute in the lead over John Wolfett, so he's okay. He'll still be leading. He's rejoined just in front of Steve Harris, his running mate there. Oh, that was scary for Paul Rose. Let's see if he can see what he did. He just hit the standing water, I think, coming into Redgate corner there. Here he comes. Yeah, the back end just breaks away as he turns in. Aquaplane's off. He just hits the edge of the gravel. His heart must have been in his mouth there. Paul Rose has not only managed to get the car out of the gravel, if he'd spun the wheels too much there, it would have bogged down. But he saved it. His lead over John Wolfett was a full minute at the end of the previous lap, so he's okay. He's rejoined in the lead. 40 seconds left on the clock before the clock counts down to 0. Of course, when it does, we will start the last lap. There's Roger Evans, still going in the Alfa Romeo. Where's he in the order? He's 14th at the moment. Ian Bruce has dropped down the order in his Honda, so either he's struggling or it's him who had the spin at the chicane. Yep, Paul Rose struggling at the chicane there as well. I wonder if something's happened to his tyres, because he seems to be struggling a bit here. Right, so, I see a last lap board, so the clock hadn't quite gone to 0, but we're going into the last lap this time anyway. Rose just taking it carefully, he doesn't want to spin again. There's his teammate Steve Harris behind him. Paul Rose and Steve Harris has lost it now. The other Saker's going off. He goes grass tracking. Just about gets it back on. Mind that Alfa Romeo. We don't want that damage. He joins in front of Chris Marys with the Honda Civic. Okay, I think we're going to see the checkered flag this time, because I saw the board out from the marshals on the start-finish line. The clock hadn't quite gone to 0. There were 10 seconds or so left. Paul Dobson has now been lapped. He's in third, so we're going to finish with just 2 cars on the lead lap. Paul Rose can afford to take it carefully to the flag from here. Surviving that late scare. Here he comes, the man from Leek in North Staffordshire. Paul Dobson sideways across Coppice there in the background. They slip and slide their way home. Or is it going to be checkered flag at this time for Paul Rose in the Saker? Here he comes in for his second win. Surely it's going to be a checkered flag this time. There it is. Paul Rose takes the second win for the CNC Heads Northwest Sports and Saloons. Paul Dobson comes over in third, a lap down, and wins Class B. Steve Harris, despite that late moment, will come in fourth place. Who's going to be second overall? It's going to be John Wolfett. There's Rick Wood in the skyline. Paul Rotheroe will take a brilliant 5th overall. He can be proud of that, and he wins Class E at a canter. Andy Bicknell is 6th. Rick Wood will take 7th in the skyline, and he wins Class D ahead of this man, Gary Wardle. He's going to come over in 8th place. Just waiting for John Wolfett to come in to win Class B. Class F, this time will be won, I think, by Bruce Carter, unless Graham Smith has caught him late on. We'll wait and see. Over the line comes Don Hughes in the Peugeot. Here's John Wolfett, the only other car left on the lead lap. He comes in to take 2nd place, and he will win Class B. So a bit of a scare there for Paul Rose in the closing stages. We can confirm the provisional race result then. Paul Rose the winner by nearly a minute ahead of John Wolfett, despite that spin at Redgate a couple of laps from home. John Wolfett winning Class B in 2nd place. Paul Dobson a lap down in 3rd in the low-cost 7. Steve Harris, despite starting from the pits, comes through to finish 4th ahead of Paul Rotheroe. Brilliant effort by the Zara to take 5th and a class win in Class E. 6th goes to Andy Bicknell's Ginetta. Rick Wood wins Class D in the Godzilla Skyline in 7th ahead of Gary Wardle. 9th for the other Saker of David Clark, and Rick Walker rounding up the top 10 in his JCW Mini. Guy Carter's TVR in 11th ahead of Jamie Cryer, the championship leader, in 12th. David Green 13th in the Honda ahead of Roger Evans and Chris Marys completing the top 10, the top 15 rather. 16th went to the Honda of Ian Bruce, then Don Hughes in his Peugeot. Richard Hall's Caterham. Bruce Carter wins Class F in his Honda CRX, just ahead of Graham Smith. They were separated by 2 seconds at the flag. Peter Kukulas in the Toyota, and Jake Johnson rounding out the 22 runners. And this is going to be one of the most difficult motor races that you will ever see. The Caterham Graduates Racing Club Sigma 135 category. Green flag is displayed at the back of the grid, waiting for the red lights to come on. Ben Buckley on his own on the front row. David Reed and James McCall behind him, then Simon Shaw alongside Michael Curley on row 3. Red lights come on. We're about to head into the monsoon then. The Sigma 135s and the Caterham Graduates Racing Club, we're underway. Good start by Ben Buckley, leads the way down to Redgate for the first time. One car on the grass already, creating great waves of water. Now, are they all going to make it round? Ben Buckley will take the lead. David Reed into second place. Got a couple of cars starting from the pit lane. It's hard to see the rest of the field. They tiptoe their way around Redgate. Now, have they all made it round? It looks like they have. They're being extra careful in there. Ben Buckley has the lead ahead of David Reed. Third place is James McCall, then Simon Shaw. It's Michael Curley in fifth place ahead of Alaric Barney, who's come through, made up a couple of places off the line. This will be just a damage limitation exercise early on. You can't really race in conditions like this, sadly. They've all made it away okay. One of the cars that started from the pit lane may well have been Tom Power, number 70 there. He's towards the back. Here's your leader, Ben Buckley, number 42. His first race weekend of the season. Was on for a top 5 in race 1 until he spun at Redgate. He's taking it nice and easy in the early stages. There's Alaric Barney being chased by the number 64 of Mika Lazarus in the orange car. Here they come onto the exhibition straight for the first time. Buckley leads from David Reed, the race 1 winner by a couple of inches, in second place. Taking it very steadily into the chicane. Third place is James McCall. It's really wet here. Simon Shaw in fourth place. There is the 199 of Curley in fifth position. Mika Lazarus has lost a place or two. There's number 44 going through Chris Skillicorn. You can hardly see them as they come down the straight there. 1.8 seconds the lead margin for Buckley ahead of Reed as they skate their way through at Redgate. It's near impossible. Look at the standing water through there. Here's the fight for third. Simon Shaw trying to close down James McCall. Alaric Barney up there in fifth place. Michael Curley defending sixth. He's got a line of 4 other cars behind him. There's Alistair Melton, number 95, in 11th place. As the leaders swim their way through Redgate almost. Ben Buckley is heading into the almost twilight conditions here. It is bizarre at the moment. Simon Shaw's got third place on the Wheatcroft straight there. He's up to third ahead of James McCall. Somebody's off at Redgate. I think it might be Mika Lazarus that's run wide there. Hard to tell through the spray. Leader coming up on a back marker, Merton Wood, number 13, about to be lapped. See what the lead gap is this time through for Buckley. He's got the fastest lap of the race, 140.732. Over the line he comes. Quite a substantial lead now for Ben Buckley. 11.5 minutes to go. Second race of the weekend for the Caterham Sigma 135s. Nice little battle here further back of 96 there. The 96 of Ben Wheatley has got ahead of Angus McLean. Here comes McLean fighting back. Now starting to take a few risks now they're used to the conditions. Round the outside there, that's a big risk through the water splash there. Alongside Ben Wheatley, they're chasing Alaric Barney up into fourth place. Something's happened to James McCall somewhere, the green car. He's dropped away. Have we lost James McCall? He didn't come through that time, I don't think. No, he hasn't crossed the line on that lap. Have we lost the championship leader somewhere? There is the leader. The turquoise blue car. David Reed still second. Third is Simon Shaw. It's Angus McLean up to fourth now. He and Ben Wheatley have got ahead of Michael Curley. Alaric Barney is 7th.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a different gap in there from what we had earlier on.
Somebody asking where Alistair Melton is in our comments. He's 10th.
At the minute, he's going quicker as well.
Behind Mika Lazarus and Chris Skillicorn, who's 8th.
Not too far away from the completion of this lap as well.
Into the chicane once again. Ben Buckley holding it together on this treacherous track. A couple of back markers ahead of him. Simon White is one of them, with his headlights still ablaze. The other is Aki Hussain, number 92.
Try and overcome, so we'll see how that all turns out here. Buckley, as he said, looking good.
Big gap up to 11.5 seconds now, although Simon Shaw's just set the fastest lap, 1:38.912, so he's starting to push. The gap between second and third is now half a second, so Simon Shaw is pushing. Back to 4th place, he's down to 5.1 seconds. Back to McLean, he's just done a 1:38.592, new fastest lap of the race. No, Skillicorn does the fastest lap, 1:37.088. He's just taken Alaric Barney for 7th place, as Simon Shaw, meanwhile, is looking to make a move here for 2nd place, and he goes through. You'll see, no, that's a back marker, sorry. Apologies there, that was Aki Hussain being lapped. Similarly coloured car. Couldn't see in the spray there. There's David Reed, still 2nd. Now they've got a back marker between the two of them. Just over 2 minutes to go. On the bottom of the circuit up towards McLean's. David Reed still there in 2nd. Ben Buckley's away and gone in front. The gap has come down a bit, 9.4 seconds. I don't think they're going to catch it. Over the line they go. This is the battle further back. That's Fraser Riddington. Now, where is he in the order? Down to 16th now. He's got Robin Webb, the yellow car there behind him. Ollie Smith's in there as well. Here's the leader. He's run away and hid up front, hasn't he? Ben Buckley. The last lap this time, I think there's 90 seconds left as he crosses the line. Yes, the lap board is out from the marshals. 1 lap to go for Ben Buckley. David Reed in 2nd place. Blew the water splash for the last time. Ben Buckley is heading for his first win of the season, his first race weekend of the season. He's nearly 10 seconds up on David Reed, who's a 2nd clear in turn of Simon Shaw. The gap to 4th has come down to 4 seconds, so Angus McLean wants a podium here. It's going to be a nice change for him in his wet condition, and I don't think, as I said, being challenged from behind. There goes Ben Buckley. For the 2nd and 3rd steps on the podium, which is through the 1st sector. David Reed is going to his personal best, whereas behind. They're not going to catch Buckley here. There he goes. Back for 2nd place. Yes, there they are. David Reed and Simon Shaw. Can Shaw make a late move? Are we going to see a move into the chicane here? There's McLean in 4th. Wheatley 5th. Michael Curley's still there in 6th place. Alaric Barney's dropped back to 8th behind Chris Skillicorn. There he is. There's a yellow flag out at the chicane, so I don't think we'll see any overtaking there. Now, who have we lost at the chicane? I think it might be Alistair Melton. He's dropping down the timing screen. So a yellow flag out with a car off at the chicane as the leader comes into it. It's going to be a win for Ben Buckley. There is the checkered flag. Ben Buckley takes his first win of the season. Congratulations to him. Who's going to be 2nd? Here they come. It looks as though David Reed is going to hang on. Reed comes over in 2nd, Shaw 3rd, McLean 4th. James McCall is falling down the timing screen again. Hang on, don't tell me we've lost him. That'll be his first time out of the top 2 this year, if so. There he is, he's off. Oh, James McCall, championship leader, is out. I'll give you the results in just a second then. Our Caterham Graduate Sigma 135 category 2nd race. Ben Buckley the winner from David Reed by 7.3 seconds. just over half a second back with Simon Shaw in third. Angus McLean a good fourth ahead of Ben Wheatley. Michael Curley sixth ahead of Chris Skillicorn. Then Alaric Barney, Mika Lazarus and Paul Farrell rounding out the top 10. Roger Gaunt in 11th ahead of Ian Fortescue. The 11th was 13th, followed by Fraser Riddington. It was Robin Webb who rounded out the top 15 in the number 77. Good battles in the midfield there. Cars coming to the grid then for the final race of the weekend here at Convoy in the Park. At Donington Park, the Caterham Graduates Racing Club Sigmax and Sigma 150 categories. Number 28, Harry Senior in pole position from the Sigmax division alongside 38 Simon Goodwin, the first of the Sigma 150s. Second row, Jamie Winrow, number 46, and number 2 of Jamie Elwood. On the third row, it is James de Lusignan and Stephen Clark. Jonathan Curry, Adam Bettinson on row 4. Gary Curtis and James Gilmore complete the top 10 of this big 39 cars are qualified for this race. Might be missing one or two further back. A very slippery circuit for this one. It will be a 20-minute race for the Caterham Graduates Racing Club. 2 races in one, effectively, with the 2 categories running combined. Last couple of cars move into line at the back then. Watch for Jamie Elwood, the most experienced man on this grid, over 20 years, a Caterham racer. On the second row of the grid, the green flag waves from the marshal at the back, waiting for the signal for the red lights to come on. Harry Senior, the grey and red car on pole, the red lights are on. Simon Goodwin alongside him in red and black. Here we go with the last race of the weekend, over 20 minutes. Decent start from the second row by Jamie Winrow, tries to slot in. Look for Ben Winrow coming down the inside in the yellow car there. But it is Harry Senior who will lead into the first corner, chased by Simon Goodwin. A great flood of Caterhams coming through behind. Are they all going to make it round? It's the wettest part of the circuit, the first corner at Redgate. They've all made it round, thankfully, all being sensible and careful. It's Senior that leads, Goodwin second, Elwood is up into third. Jamie Winrow's good start came to nothing. He is in fourth place ahead of Stephen Clark in the blue car there in fifth. Sixth is Jonathan Curry. He's got away well, already missing a wing though, so there's been a little bit of contact in there. 3 wide into the old hairpin. I don't think that's going to work. There's a bit of rubbing. All just about made it round there though. It's 28 of Harry Senior who leads the way up into McLean's for the first time. The Sigmax Championship leader ahead of Simon Goodwin. Third, it is Jamie Elwood. Nice bit of sorting out behind number 112, Andrew Whitten with a good start. Andy Ebden there on the outside in the 54. He had a good run, was in the top 10 in race 1. Leaders head down the exhibition straight then towards the chicane. We're going to see some slipstreaming, I reckon, in this one. Senior's broken away at the front early on, though, ahead of Simon Goodwin in second place. He's the first of the Sigma 150s, ahead of Jamie Elwood. Then it's Jamie Winrow, the red and blue car. No, it's not. Stephen Clark's on ahead of him, and I think there's a few cars going straight on there. Look at this. Oh dear, what a mess. 38 Simon Goodwin's gone straight on. Jonathan Curry and James Earlham wallop into the side of Jonathan Curry. That's Jim Earlham out of the race. He's broken his front suspension. He's not going to keep going there. Ben Winrow came in there as well. They just didn't realise how slippery it was. They all tried their usual braking points and they all headed for the Grand Prix loop. That's going to be a safety car, I think, because Jim Earlham is stranded there with broken suspension. He's out of the race. It's Harry Senior who leads from Elwood, Stephen Clark in third. There's Jim Earlham, number 3, the almost camouflage liveried car. Looks like it's tiled, doesn't it, the livery on that car? But the man from Staines, just west of London, is out of the race. And will we see a safety car with that car stranded there effectively with 3 wheels on his Caterham? They all tried their normal braking points for the chicane. Half of them went straight on, so that's shaken up the order there. Simon Goodwin's dropped a long way down the order. Ben Winrow spun as well. And I think it was Jonathan Curry who spun and was hit by Jim Earlham. Stephen Clark up to third. Jamie Winrow is fourth. It's Adam Bettinson, number 71, into fifth position. Then we've got James de Lusignan, and the numbered 110 of James Gilmore is next. Here come the leaders then. Senior with clearly there's yellow flags out at the chicane. No passing there. They'll have to slow down because of Jim Earlham's stranded car in the gravel. There he is. He's got out of the car, he's okay. Jamie Elwood in second place. Then Clark, Winrow, Bettinson, James de Lusignan, James Gilmore, and next behind him, I think that's Gary Curtis, number 122. And the safety car is being called. As I expected, the safety car is coming out. Here they come then, getting ready for the restart with 11.5 minutes to go. Harry Senior from Jamie Elwood, both leading their classes. They head down to Redgate, the green flag is out, the green light is on. We're back underway with the Caterham graduates. Here they come down towards Redgate, and Harry Senior pulls away into the lead once again. There's less standing water down there, but it is still very slippery. Stephen Clark goes to the outside on Jamie Elwood. Stephen Clark in second in the Sigmax division behind Harry Senior. Third of them is Adam Bettinson, number 71. You can see the top three in Sigma 150. Elwood ahead of Jamie Winrow, and James de Lusignan, he's going well in sixth overall. So 3 from each category in the top 6 overall. Senior pulls away slightly from Jamie Elwood, the most experienced racer in the Caterham graduates. Adam Bettinson a bit wide there, the silver and blue number 71. His race was ruined by a spin coming out of the old hairpin in race 1. Coming up towards the top of the circuit now at McLean's. Senior, Elwood, Clark. Stephen Clark, of course, perfected the slipstream move into the chicane in the first race. There's Jamie Winrow in fourth, number 46. Adam Bettinson running well here in fifth, ahead of James de Lusignan. Seventh is James Gilmore, the black and orange car. That car's got a slightly taller roll cage, I notice, than those around it. So easy to pick out. Here comes Clark. Which side's he going to go on? Jamie Elwood into the chicane. Thinks better of it this time. He's not close enough. Over the curves they go on the inside of the left. Harry Senior clear with the lead. Side by side for second. Here comes Clark. Is he going to pull his way ahead? There's number 38, Simon Goodwin. A mistake from him, the man who started from the front row. Just about gathers it together through the chicane. He's trying to make his way back up after that mistake. He's caught in the tangle at the chicane on the first lap. Side by side for second. Clark driving round the outside for second place. And we've got a spinner. Andy Ebden, number 54, has gone at the chicane. Stephen Clark got all the way around the outside there of Jamie Elwood into second place. Elwood sliding about all over the place. Still leading the class, mind you. He's a 150 and the other two ahead of him are Sigmaxes. This is the fight for fourth. Gareth Cordy, we mentioned there, of course, the man who lost a wheel in the race at Snetterton earlier this season. The wheel travelled most of the length of the back straight on its own. Bettinson heads the battle for fourth. Jamie Winrow trying to close up here. Needs to go to the outside. He's got the slipstream down to the chicane. Gilmore trying to do the same thing. De Lusignan moves across on him, but Winrow's going to break later for the chicane. He's got fourth position. He's through. And that is for second. He's still second in the 150s behind Elwood because Bettinson's in the Sigmax division. Adam Bettinson tries to fight back. Third in Sigmax behind Senior and Clark. To the inside there, Doug Christie in the black car attacking James Gilmore. You can see the slightly different roll cage design on Gilmore's car. Harry Senior over the line. What's the gap going to be? Was just under 7 seconds last time through. Here's the fight for fourth. Look at James Gilmore up the outside. This is impressive. Don't overshoot the chicane, James. No, he's got it covered there. Jamie Winrow is clear in fourth, though, now ahead of Gilmore fifth. Bettinson is down to sixth. The lead gap increased considerably on that lap. It's up to over 9 seconds now. So Senior pulled away by nearly 3 seconds ahead of Clark. Bettinson to the inside at Redgates, then de Lusignan, Christie. Next through in the black and yellow car is Curtis, and then Warner. This group further back we focused on earlier, number 6 of Stephen Arnold. This is for 20th place. Colin Loughlin in the blue car there, side by side with Gareth Cordy, slipping and sliding their way down to the chicane. Jonathan Curry behind them, missing a wing after that earlier contact with Jim Earlham. Then we've got the 172 of Mark Smith. 52 is Michael Downing. Also in there, Kim Raymond, no mistaking that green machine. Long trail of cars down the straight. Here's the fight for fourth. Still the top 3 remaining the same, with just under 3 minutes of the race to go. Harry Senior from Stephen Clark. And Jamie Elwood on his own in third. He leads the Sigma 150s ahead of Jamie Winrow and James Gilmore, those two at the front of this group. Third in Sigmax is Adam Bettinson, just behind them in the 71. Doug Christie is next through, he's running well. Here they come down to Redgate. Jamie Winrow heads this group. The first three well clear, about 6 seconds up on this little lot. There's Stephen Clark on his own in second. Nearly 12 seconds behind Harry Senior. This is a huge lead margin for Harry Senior. Elwood a few seconds further back there, he is in third, but comfortably leading Jamie Winrow by over 6 seconds for the lead of the Sigma 150 class. So we're in the closing stage now. I think it'll be last lap this time for Harry Senior. He's way ahead of the rest. He's heading for another Sigmax win. He's surely heading for the title this year, and Jamie Elwood surely heading for the Sigma 150 title this year. There is Stephen Clark having to settle for second. A great weekend he's had though. Took the win in race 1. There's the last lap board out from the marshals on the pit wall. Senior's already gone through. 12.79 seconds the gap now, 1 minute left on the clock. Elwood is third. I don't think we're going to see any major change in the leading positions unless we have any spinners. There is our leader, that's Rob Appleton, he's a back marker. Our leader's disappeared from sight here. Well, there is our leader. Coming up to lap Peter Marsh. He was hidden in back markers. We lost him there for a moment. And so far ahead of everybody, we're unfamiliar with such a lead in a Caterham race. A bit sideways on the mud there on the inside of Coppice. But in the sunset here at Donington, he's heading for victory. Look at this traffic he's got to negotiate ahead of him. He'll have to be careful here into the chicane for the final time. He's in there somewhere. There he is, the number 28. Comes down into the chicane for the final time. Just take it carefully, Harry. He's coming in to win here at Donington Park in our final race of the day. There's the checkered flag. Harry Senior, hidden by back markers, takes the win in our Caterham Sigmax division. Stephen Clark is going into the chicane there, will come through to take second overall and second of the Sigmax cars. And there's Jamie Elwood, he's coming in to win Sigma 150, continuing his march towards the championship, as is Harry Senior. Clark came over in second. Elwood is third. Okay, and we'll confirm the provisional results of that one. Harry Senior, the winner by over 13 seconds from Stephen Clark. Jamie Elwood, third overall, wins the Sigma 150 division. Jamie Winrow was next home ahead of James DeLusignan, James Gilmore and Doug Christie. Adam Bettinson down to 8th, but the third, the final podium finisher in the Sigmax division. 9th went to Gary Curtis ahead of Rob Warner. Then Simon Goodwin 11th after a quick off early on. Jonathan Evans, then Ben Winrow, Glenn Burtonshaw and Barry White.